Which segments piques your curiosity the most right now, or specific companies in the Nordic sphere? I know Novo Nordisk has, of course, been talked about. Is that one, or?
Yeah, since Monday morning, Ørsted as well, which is down, I think, 75% the last year. They have to raise now $10 billion, I think, the next week. So, and at the same time, they almost lost one of their biggest projects, wind projects in the States, because of a stop order from Trump that was turned 180 degrees on Monday in a court in the States. So it's kind of sometimes when it becomes, that's a good example of probably where the models are just selling it out and selling it down. And it's interesting to remember that 4 years ago, Ørsted was, I think, bigger than Equinor. And now Equinor is significantly bigger than Ørsted. And this is, the trends, it becomes comfortable. People are just buying stocks because everybody else is buying it or selling. And so I think the interesting part with Ørsted is that it's very interest rate sensitive. We just talked about the interest rates are going in each direction, but it has fallen. It's discounted that interest rates will stay high for a long time. And that's not necessarily the case. I think that's very interesting. When they now raise $10 billion probably, and hopefully that is the rock bottom.
Other segments, I mean, it's been such a fantastic journey for yourself in car carriers, offshore, DOF. Is the good times over now, and should we exit those sectors, or you still feel like there's fundamentals to find great companies at a fair valuation?
Well, I mean, what we see now, I am still in car carriers a bit. First ship being delivered in November in China. That we have invested in together with 3 other investors. I think there are so many cars being produced in China that will find new homes. Not necessarily all of them in Europe or the States, but definitely part of that is Europe and the States, because it's so much cheaper to produce in China. But they will go to Africa, to India, to South America, and it's a lot of them. So I think the big boom is maybe behind us. It is behind us, that's quite clear. But it's whether it will be a complete bust, I don't think so. It's more selective than it was before, though. So I mean, I would say the last 4 years I've been into shipping and offshore only, almost, and a bit real estate. Now it's much more spread out. It's in real estate, it's in online retailing, is it now, with offshore wind and with Ørsted, and it's Novo Nordisk with in the pharma, big pharma. I don't believe as much in one sector as I did 4 years ago, but I definitely believe that shipping and offshore should have a place in the portfolio today. And we see it, for example, in the tanker market now with Hunter Group, which has been a very tough investment the last few years. I mean, Hunter Group is very easy. I mean, it's 2 VLCCs that are chartered in, fixed, around $52,000 per day each. And then they're chartered out spot to the same counterparties. And we have now 2 high seasons and 1 low season left of this, which is 1.5 years roughly left of these contracts. And well, the first 1.5 years we have lost money almost every day. And then suddenly now we're having a margin of 100% the last week. So where it goes, I don't know. But it shows that the dynamic in tankers is there is still a market. It's still a market there, which is interesting, and is obviously too many variables to analyze it properly. But what we do know is that it's it's the order book is not so big, and the next 1.5 years is not so many ships coming, and that's an opportunity when OPEC has started to produce more. That was also the case when we invested. It's just that it has been so many variables from every side in the tanker market. For example, with the sanctioned fleet being huge and transporting oil from Russia to India, for example, has been a big part of the market. Now the market has shifted more towards longer distances from South America to China and from Middle East to China.
Definitely. So do you think that experience from Hunter Group do you believe you will like to set up those models more often as well? Or is this a one-off because the situation was quite unique, there was a company available? Or do you feel like it's been so much pain and fun and now good times that you actually want to set up structures like that on the stock exchange going forward as well?
We're able to do it. We could do it, but then we have to believe in it 100%. I would never go out with anything if I didn't believe in it 100%. So that goes with Ellos, that goes with Jack Tailor, where I'm in, that goes with Hunter Group. I have put my money on the line and my neck on the line. And this is, there are a few things, main rule. You go to the market, we want to be best in class. We want to be just as good as those I just mentioned, like Fredriksen and Trame, who treats the shareholders well. We see the value in that because then we are able to launch new projects later. Investors should be totally... I cannot guarantee how it will go, but what I can guarantee is that I put a lot of money on it myself.